Hey, it's Ebony again. I haven't been here for quite a while online. I don't like online. However, the Lord has been grinding me and grinding me and grinding me to put out the truth. So this will be part of my testimony, not all of my testimony. There will be some things that no doubt I have missed, because I've been told this is urgent to get out and to get out now. Anyone who this truth offends, I do apologise. However, when we do things, we must always keep in mind that if we don't want people to know about it, maybe we shouldn't be doing it. So, anyone who wishes to attempt to expose me for anything at all, from the day I was born till the day I die, feel free. Because there is nothing on myself that I will not speak very publicly at the right time in front of the world, if need be. The thing with the Lord is, testimony is about coming from where you were and how He makes you grow, how He makes you change, the path that He takes you down, the healing that He can do within you that can't be done through any other means, any other false idols or anything of that sort. So like I said, this will be part 1, and I will do a part 2 and a part 3 if necessary. I hope this doesn't offend anyone. However, this is me putting it right out there. If you wish to judge me, feel free. However, I would keep in mind of what is happening to people out there for judging someone, as it states very clearly in the Word. If you hear a rumour, this isn't the exact wording, but it states something along the lines of, if you hear a rumour of your neighbour, go to the neighbour and ask him the truth. Now, your neighbour is anyone you may pass in the street, whether you live next to them, live with them, know them, they're across the world. We are all each other's neighbours. So, nobody came to me and asked my side. So I find all this crazy, how any of this can have got to where it is today. However, I do understand how it's got to where it is today, because this is what about the judgment of the Lord. Just so we are clear, we are at the end of the tribulation. Those who are expecting the mark of the beast in the hand and the forehead and all this. Maybe this here. Can you see the big lump in my head? That is a chip that they put in my skull without my permission. I don't know who or when or where. But that's one of the things they did. And they also put things in my eyes. They're probably not turned on, I don't know, because even though it's my body, I don't have access to it. But anyway, so I'm going to start off with a prayer. This is the one that the Lord guided me to read. So, it's a psalm, it's Psalm 24, and this is out of the NKJV Holy Bible, and it goes like this. Excuse me looking down. The earth is the Lord's, and all its fullness, the world and those who dwell therein. For He has founded it upon the seas, and established it upon the waters. Who may ascend into the hill of the Lord, or who may stand on His holy place? He who has clean and a pure heart, who has not lifted up his soul to an idol, nor sworn deceitfully. He shall receive blessings from the Lord, and righteousness from the God of his salvation. This is Jacob, the generation of those who seek Him, who seek your face, Allah. Lift up your heads, O you gates, and be lifted up, you everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord, strong and mighty, the Lord, mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O you gates. Lift up, you everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is the King of glory? The Lord of hosts. He is the King of glory, Salah. So, where it says you gates, keep in mind the gatekeepers. The gatekeepers are trying to keep your gates from opening these doors. Amen, Lord. Thank you for that word. And I cannot begin to explain how detailed the word is with what's happening in my life. I will get justice. I will get the truth. And those who bring the truth will be blessed. This is a time of trial and testing, especially on the justice system. This is about overturning the corruption, bringing in the right judges that can't be bribed, that use their intuition, and don't just do as they're told to do. They go with what is right. They have a moral compass and integrity, which sadly many of you out there have none of. Why is it that someone of my past has so much more integrity than these wicked people out here in positions of authority? Why? What is wrong with you people? Reap what we sow. And it's reaping season like that. Okay. Truth bomb. Okay. So I'm going to fast forward this to when I met, we'll call him Mr. M. Mr. M. I am happy to speak over my childhood, but this is what the Lord wants spoken. This is what's relevant. This is what's been hidden from people. This is what is being used against the kingdom of God. Yeah, this is what I was guided to do. And very harshly guided, may I add. Okay, so, excuse me. So I met Michael one night. It was very late at night in the street. And we spoke for a second and he gave me his number. I'm not one to take numbers, so it was very strange, just that factor alone. I didn't ring, not for probably 3-4 months, I don't know, it was at least 3 months. And I was in a relationship at the time. I've made my mistakes when I was like maybe 22. I cheated on a partner once. And, I learnt my lesson. And the pain I felt from the hurt that I caused was untold. And never ever again. And anyone who wants to judge me on that, that's fine. But don't say you haven't done it, because this is how we grow and how we learn. We make mistakes, we take on board how it feels, and from there we go on what's right and what's wrong. That's how we develop our morals. Never again, never again. I don't know if it hurt him more or myself more, but that was crazy. So anyway, we were in a relationship. I was in a relationship, and it wasn't going. We were very good friends and everything, but there was just wasn't wasn't what I felt it should be. So yeah, and that man, I'm calling him Mr. B, Mr. B for that man's amazing, and if he was next to me now, the ex-partners that I do have, which aren't many because I've always had long-term relationships, I can run into any of them now and we get along great. Like, never left on bad terms from anybody. Yeah. So, anyway, I met Michael, rang him several months later, and I kind of split up with my partner at this time. I just had, and I can't quite remember. This is in like 2012, and Mr. M had nowhere to live, so he came down, and my mother had a unit out the back of her house in Mornington, and I organised for him to live there. And he moved in there. So he moved into Mum's, and at some stage over the next few weeks, I helped Mr. M go and collect his belongings, and we went over the Geelong area in Melbourne. We are Melbourne, Australia, and picked up his garbage bag of things, and on another day we went and picked up from a factory all his tools, being a mechanic, and brought them back, and that's where it all started. So anyway, now I have notes here, obviously. So yeah, anyway, I right before Mr. B left my ministry home that I had for 12 years, and Mr. M and I went down the park one day for a walk, and he put it on me, and I was like, absolutely not. Like, my ex was still living in my house, like, so he should have known then and there. He did know. Like, I'm very clear, very honest, very upfront. And I said, absolutely no, it's not going to happen. And I remember stating very clearly that if I do that with him while my ex is still living in the house, then you're going to think that I would do that to you, and it's just not who I am. So he moved into my mum's. We lived quite happily for a year and a half or something, approximately. And then one day we decided to go on a holiday. We went up to Cairns for 6 weeks. And while I'm shouting him on a holiday and blah, 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 we're sitting on the bed in the hotel, and I get a glimpse of the phone, and there's a message. Cheating already. About picking up someone from the airport and how they're the best this and the best that and all these things. Very hurtful. However, I put it in the back of my mind, moved on and forgave. I'm very forgiving. But you've pushed me too far, and that's it, and I've changed a lot, and no one will ever, ever, ever walk over me again. Make no mistake about that. So that was one thing of cheating with him. We returned from our holiday, and due to my history, yes, I was a naughty girl when I was younger. A lot of chosen individuals trying to keep their energy right and frequency right, and through a lot of trauma, a lot of us have had witchcraft placed on us throughout our life, and a lot of chosen individuals have been placed into very wicked environments growing up. This is so that they process the hurt, and then they feel very abandoned, and they go to the Lord because they don't have anybody else, and the Lord gives them the love. And if you haven't experienced it, I can't explain it, but the Lord gives them this love. It's like no other. And he's so loyal and he guides you and you're never alone, never alone. And the peace, the peace that I have in my mind is just unbelievable. I'm very rarely am I upset, and if I am, I put it at his feet and boom, he deals with it. So, yeah, so I was involved in drugs, and so was Mr. M. And one day, Mr. M went out to meet someone to give them some, and I've been jailed and done my time for this. There is nothing out there that I haven't been caught for by the authorities and done my time, and I have no regret because everything has taught me very valuable lessons and leading me up to what I needed to know for my destiny. And this is about, as being a destiny helper, that is one of my parts of my destiny, is to be a destiny helper to many others and release their destiny. So at the moment, many people who have come against me are holding off everyone else's destiny, and in some cases their own. And some of these individuals will not be receiving what was meant for them now, due to what they have done. And then there's others that are going to have to go through another very long cycle, maybe up to 10-year cycle, to do it all again. Though I did warn many. However, yeah. So, yeah, we were doing the wrong thing, and he went out to meet someone, Mr. M. I was in the bedroom. My mother and her partner had gone overseas on a holiday, and anyway, the police ran in, and long story short, I was arrested and jailed. They used the key, which was very odd, to come in the front door. I don't recall seeing a warrant, however, I'm not saying there wasn't one, but it should definitely be looked into by the investigators. Anyway, this particular officer, I knew I went to jail. Mr. M did not. I couldn't get out for a little bit, and then I was later released. Then they tried to get us on pervert the course of justice because I made a phone call to Michael, and we spoke about what to do about getting me out, and I rang my nana, who one of the inheritances is from, and she gave him a large sum of money to have me released on bail if it was required. Always supportive. I love you, Nan, Pa, Gran. I love my family. Since they died, it's never been the same. And yeah, I got bail, and they tried to charge Michael and I on pervert the course of justice. Now, perverting the course of justice is a minimum. It used to be a 10-year sentence, I think. It's a county court matter. However, when we went to go to court, due to the way they had worded the charge, and they had put both of us in the summary, basically if one of us went down, we both went down. It wasn't one could and the other one didn't. So I believe, looking back now, that because Mr. M was going to go down, no matter what, they couldn't just put me away. I believe now they were going to put me inside and leave him out, and this is part of how they were going to steal. However, that's just a theory, and assumptions are dangerous, and I've learned that throughout my life. You should never assume. You should go to the person. You should make sure your facts are very, very right, because you can upset a lot of things. You can change people's destiny, people's lives, and in the end, you can harm yourself. Now, yeah, so those charges got dropped, and we weren't allowed to see each other, things like that. We got through, once the charges were dropped, we're allowed to see each other, and blah, 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 blah. Now, the day I got out of prison, I went onto my mum's computer. Now keep in mind, when I was in custody, my mum was overseas. Mr. M, who I'd known for 2 years approximately at this time, maybe not even, maybe a year and a half, if that, was residing in my mum's house with all her documents, all her files, everything that our family, everything, all our most private belongings. There was nothing that they could not access to steal what they required to steal from our family, from our bloodline. But I didn't know about this at this time. So at this stage, my grandfather, he'd passed away. He's been gone for 20 years. Love you, Pa. That was his mission. Had he not passed on, then little do these fools know, he wouldn't have been here to guide me. He knew exactly what he was doing, and they played right into it. This is all plan of the Lord. Prepare the way of the Lord, prepare the way of the Lord. This has been prepare the way of the Lord for generations. And everything my grandfather, everything that he did and Ken did throughout their lives, my nan, my gran, and so many others, was all about gaining wealth in the right way, gaining respect, having morals, integrity, and serving the people. The people. What's wrong with the government now? The government are there to serve the people. What I see is we are serving the government. This is just, Australia's doomed. Anyway, off track, sorry. It infuriates me, absolutely infuriates me. So, yeah, so I come out and I get online. I've gone a little bit off track, I apologise, but anyway, we'll get there. I haven't got time to stop and start and blah 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 this video. I need to get out, I need to go and do some stuff. I got on my mum's computer and blow me down. I'm not a computer person, you know what, I'm just about IT illiterate. Like, I'm not, I know basics, and there's a reason for that. And I believe now, knowing the reason for that is so that when they try to set me up for God knows what, there's nowhere in my history, in any of my devices, in anything, where I have known how to do much more than the basics. So how can they it's not going to fly. Not going to fly. They don't think. All they think is wicked. They don't think about consequence. They don't think about, what if this, what if that, and have backup plans. They just think everything's going to go their way. So anyway, I get on, and there it is, a site called Plenty of Fish. Oh, and he was busy. So while I'm in custody, he's on the phone to me and saying, can we get married and all this? And, you know, I was probably, yeah, I can't remember, but no doubt I was. Yeah, and then I get out to that. Anyway, I threw him out of the house. And then he comes begging and round to the backsliding door, oh, please, like a typical cheater. Oh, mate, typical cheater. I remember one day he came to me, we were talking, sitting down, general chit-chat, and he told me a story about his best mate. And his best mate apparently used to get with women and cheat as a game and try and see how long they can get away with it and not get caught. That was the game. I believe he wasn't talking about his friend, he was talking about himself. However, if he was talking about his friend, let's just not assume, because like I said, they're dangerous. Let's say it was his friend. Well, what do they say? What's the saying? the quickest way to know a man is to know his friends. Find out about his friends. When you know about his friends, chances are you know about them as well, because we usually do what our friends do. So, boom. Yeah. Now I knew. And this isn't like the first time. So, anyway, county court, I'm just looking at my notes here. So, I had a ministry house still at Aluka, and like I said, I was living at my mum's for a bit, but I still had my ministry house, and we moved back to the ministry house. And I think we're sort of in between two. Anyway, it kind of doesn't matter, but I wanted to make my grandparents proud, and my nan was getting old, and yeah, I needed to do something with my life. And even though I've got a lot of qualifications, yeah, I just want to do something different. Now, Mr. M's dream, not my dream is making my partner's dreams come true. That is, if the people I love are happy, I'm stoked. So his dream was, according to him, I don't know if it was truth or a lie, but just to have a successful diesel mechanic business. So boom, we opened up Peninsula Truck and Machinery Services in Mornington, which was a mobile diesel mechanic business. You can probably Google it now. It'd still be up. I haven't deleted any of it, but I designed all the shirts and the jumpers and the business cards, everything from scratch, and it was a learning curve. I love it, but I was really proud of what I did. And I had to learn how to do taxes and everything, all the advertising, the websites, everything. And I'm someone that if I do it properly, or I don't do it at all. And his role was to be the mechanic. So it went really, really well. Like, we were really, really proud of it. We had so much business, we were booked out, and then way down the track, I went one day and he wasn't on site where he was meant to be at a job, and he didn't know I could access his location, and it was only just pure luck, but he was about a 20-minute drive from the location, and when it came to billing the man, he swore to me he was there. However, I had gone out there and he wasn't there. And I refused to bill a customer on time that we weren't there, because we're talking, a good $100, maybe an hour. I can't remember the rates, but I don't care if it's $10 an hour. If you're not there, you're not there, and you don't charge them for it. And then you've got your GST. Not going to happen on my watch. Certainly not going to happen when the business is in my name. If someone else wants to run their business like that, and they've employed me, and they're telling me, I don't know, maybe I'll add it up as I go along. However, whether I'm happy with it or not, but when it's my business, no one's getting ripped off $1. And if they do, and when I find out about it, they will be reimbursed. Yeah, so anyway, so I found out about that, and I was quite annoyed. Anyway, then we were living at the ministry house, and I ended up pregnant with my daughter. He was cheating flat out, I was sus flat out, and right when I ended up pregnant, I was leaving him. Anyway, we were at the hospital, Frankston Hospital, and we were having this baby. There was no way out. I was nearly 6 months. And he promised me again and again, and if you do blah, 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 I'll support you and help you and all this. So, one thing led to another, and good old Ebbs does it again. Let him back in, and I had this baby, and her name was Little Z, Queen Z. Zalese, 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 born on the 2nd of April 2017. Most beautiful child. She was just like my son. Beautiful child. Heart of gold. Now, she committed a crime when she was 2 years old. She made people laugh. Oh, big mistake. These filthy animals. Filthy, filthy, filthy. Filthy animals. That was her mistake. Then again, these people are that filthy. Doesn't matter if the child can't even move, they're still filthy. Enough of pedophiles running this world. Anyway, so I had little Z, and my mother convinced me to move back to hers, and I gave up the ministry house. Little did I know that was all part of a plan in the end to steal my daughter, to steal the inheritance, and make sure I was out on the street. But anyway. So, where are we? So I had my little Zizi, and she was a bundle of joy. When Z got to 6 months old, well, Z got to 6 months old, everything changed. I started seeing cars stalking us. Official cars like private investigators, undercover agents, spies from different countries, upper class, very skilled. And this is one of the reasons that the Lord allowed me to have the past that I had, because I knew how to spot a tag. Oh mate, I was being tagged flat out, and I was onto it. And then there's people